Hi everybody, this is Pastor Nolan Soldahl again, and just a quick little thing that's been on my heart. In the last two videos we went over good and evil, and then I explained what exactly I think that Jesus was getting at when he said there are harsh realities that we do have to live with. There's truth, objective truth, and you can know it, and you can have quantifiable truth, and it's fact. It's one of those things, right? And so I've been kind of praying, God, what do you want me to say? What's going on here? And where's this YouTube thing going? And it's so far just a create content prayer. That every time I pray, I just get this sense of create content, be present, and it's helped me because I look forward to creating these videos. In my mind, it starts giving me a little something to think about. So that being said, something that's been on my heart recently is turbulent spirituality. I don't know how that word just kind of got in my mind, but when we think of turbulence, we think of an airplane, right? And you're flying along and it starts to get shaky, and maybe even the plane doesn't catch the wind right and it just drops. And it's in that drop moment, like you know life is always going to be a little shaky. You know life isn't going to be smooth and easy. You know life is going to be a little rough. But what happens when there's a drop in the turbulence? It's in those moments I've heard people pray prayers they've never prayed before. I've heard people either scream or really get quiet, you know? It's this whole mix of what do you do in the drop? Turbulent spirituality. So that your plane's flying along, your plane of life is flying along, things are getting rocky, and next thing you know, you lose your job, your spouse hands you divorce papers, whatever it is. The worst case scenario, that drop. Where is your life grounded? Knowing that whatever happens in this drop, you're going to be okay. Knowing that. How can you be so certain that you know where your standing is? Where your firm foundation is? And Jesus talks about the church being the cornerstone. Or rather, him being the cornerstone for the church. Sorry. And so when we think about the cornerstone of our lives, are we allowing that to be Jesus? Are we allowing that to be God? That's a question that you're going to have to answer. You're going to have to wrestle with. But this sense of my plan of life is flying along, and then there's a drop. And next thing you know, where's your grounding? Where's that I'm going to be okay? And I know it. I just know it. For me, even though things could get crazy, somebody could point a gun to my head and, pull the trigger. Just anytime. I could get in a car accident. It's way more likely. Anytime. People don't like to think about this stuff. But next thing you know, you've got a peace of mind if you know where your foundation is. And it's in that drop of turbulent spirituality, right? It's in that drop that you're able to say, I'm not worried about it. If it happens, it happens. I know where I'm going to be. I know what I'm going to do in my life. I can pre-plan for this stuff for the people that are left behind. But really, should I bother? Should I worry about it? Yeah, you should care about the people that you'll leave behind, and that's why we create wills and things, so that all your assets don't get handed over to the government or whatever, right, when you die, unexpectedly. and you create wills for that purpose, but it's beyond the physical security. It's knowing that your mind, your soul, your consciousness, whatever you want to call it, that thing that's hard to explain, that knows that keeps you knowing that you are unique, you are created, right? Like that part that just sets you different from everybody else, that unique thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to choose the word soul here. Your soul needs its own grounding. Your physical body needs its own grounding. Your mind needs to be grounded in some way, right? We have these little mannerisms we do often to keep our minds grounded in reality. You wake up from a dream and you don't think that you're still dreaming. Some people do, and it's a hard way of life. Some people have mental disorders that keep this from being a natural thing. But they, when they go to counseling or get medicated, it's knowing that there's a grounding, that there is a base reality, a basic understanding and a base level that everybody's at, everybody's on, and that even the mind needs that, the body needs that, the mind needs that. But what about your soul? What about spirituality, right? I think oftentimes in our current culture we use this word spirituality like it's a frou-frou word, like whatever happens, I feel grounded right now. I feel whatever your spiritual practice is, doing that in the morning, meditation. For some people it's drugs that they consider spiritual. And you have to recognize that there is a baseline in which you need to call reality, and that needs a grounding too. So what do you use for your grounding? That's the big question for this video. What do you use for that drop moment in life? And is it a good drop? Is it a good foundation? Is it a good thing to fall back on when the drop happens? That's really what I'm asking here, and I can't answer that for you. No one can, and you know that. Only you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff if you want more content like this. Again, you can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and find me out on all of those things as well. Links will be in the description below. You are loved, and don't forget it. Bye.